I just arrived in Accra for the first time, and already I was getting my story published in the UK press, avoiding men with guns, and doing voiceovers in the president of Ghana's sauna. This is episode 3 of Hidden Roots. Hey, I'm Jaquest and welcome back to Hidden Roots. In the last episode, I just about made it through border security and into Accra. This time things are getting unpredictable. From hostel life to presidential palaces, this is what happened next. January is peak season in Accra. I had this image in my head before I arrived that I was going to be living like royalty for £20 a night, Prince Akeem in Coming to America kind of vibes, but that was not the case. Accra is expensive this time of year. I wasn't going to be staying in Zamunda. I found a great little hostel in the city, spent a few nights in a dorm room and then upgraded to a solo room to get a little bit of mental space. I found a gym nearby, went to check out the food at the local market and watched the locals play football in the heat. So I've just woken up after having a bit of a sleep, which was very needed. I'm still a little bit dazed. Something that should seem obvious, but when I got in the queue in Qatar, every single person in the queue was black. And then I got on the plane and everyone was black. And now I'm here and everyone is black. And like across all roles, it's management and it is the airline staff and it is the drivers and it is the hotel owners and it is the business owners and everything. So it's just like, it's taking a bit of readjusting. I love it. Coming from the UK, I'm so not used to seeing that. A little bit more in Brixton, sure. I'm really enjoying the fact that everybody here is black. My first few days in Accra were intense. I was in contact with my cousin John, but I basically spent that first week on my own. And I felt like I was on a mission, not just to meet family, but also to represent my dad to the people he'd cut out of his life all those years ago and not got back in contact with. And at the same time, I was stressing about Dad's ashes. I knew a ceremony was being prepared for bringing his ashes back, but I still didn't have the paperwork I needed and I was running out of time. I started coming up with plans with my friend Rachel back in London to see what we could do. First would be somehow getting the ashes posted to Ghana, or I fly back to pick them up and fly back again. Would there be a possibility of picking up my dad's ashes from the storage locker?
I can do that. I can do that. That's not too much stress.
At the same time, a piece about my story was coming out in The Guardian. I wanted the first series of Hidden Roots to be ready for when that article dropped. So I basically spent the first week in a hostel, editing away and trying to get everything ready and uploaded in time for the piece to come out. The hostel Wi-Fi was pretty bad, so I was spending my evenings camped out in the lobbies of fancy hotels, absolutely rinsing their internet to try and get everything uploaded in time. Luckily, I had my friend Nana in town to help keep me sane. You might remember Nana from series 1. She's the one who I first sat down with to talk about my plans to track down Dad's family. And she also filmed with me when I met his old school friend Ian. So one evening, Nana came over to my hostel to hang out, and I was so glad to see a familiar face because I had been knee deep in my editing bubble all week. So we jumped in Nana's car, drove across the city towards where she was staying. During the car journey, I think I was just completely unloading about all the stresses with border security and then everything that was going wrong with Dad's ashes and all the stress of that. We ended up on this really long, dark road. I think because I'd been so busy trauma dumping on her about everything that had been going on, I hadn't paid attention to the fact that at the end of the road, there were like 4 guys with guns pointing towards the car. And I was like, this might be the end of the road. Game over, rest in peace. So I was like, Nana, lock the doors, put your foot down, we need to get going. We're about to end up on the news. But almost before I had a chance to get the words out, one of the guys with guns had come all the way up to the car and was knocking on the window. And then Nana rolled down the window and went, "Oh, good evening, Kojo," or something like that. And I was like, "Eh?" And then I remembered the fact that Nana's dad is the president, well, he was the president of Ghana. It's a very important fact. I had forgotten that when Nana had said to come over to her place, what she was talking about was going over to her dad's place, which is the presidential palace. So turning up in the car like we did would be like strolling up to the White House or Downing Street. Of course, there were men with guns. If you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe. You could even share it with a friend if you want to send the YouTube algorithm into an absolute frenzy. I'll leave it up to you. So the men with guns weren't people that were coming to kidnap us or kill us. They were palace security. We would live to see another day. Going to the palace for the first time was surreal. Accra is amazing, but the energy can be a bit full on and chaotic sometimes. But at the palace, everything was so chill and serene, surrounded by beautiful trees and gardens and flowers. The palace chef made me guinea fowl, so good. I guess I made it to Zamunda after all. One of the best things about being at the palace wasn't the adventure or even the food, it was the quiet. I'd been trying to record audio for the YouTube series at the hostel, but it was so noisy with people coming and going all the time that recording wasn't possible. But the palace was perfect. Some of the rooms were a bit too big and echoey and didn't work so well for recording, but in the end Nana had an idea. To use the sauna downstairs, as it was like a little wooden recording studio. So I headed down to the president's sauna, wrapped in a duvet to dampen the sound, and got recording. So if you listen back to series 1 and you think, that's some good audio, just know it was all recorded in the president of Ghana's sauna. I'd only been in Accra for a few days, but I was already eating guinea fowl at Jubilee House and doing my homework in the president of Ghana's sauna. I wondered if my dad was watching down on my first trip to his home country, if he'd have been impressed. And now for a quick, unplanned addition to the episode, filmed last night. Hey everyone, if you've watched all the way to this point, thanks for sticking around. I wanted to film this extra bit to acknowledge how crazy the past week has been. I started the Hidden Roots YouTube channel about 3 years ago, mainly as a way for me to document all the things that were happening on the journey I was going on and as a little visual reminder of everything that had been happening to me. I've mainly been sharing the videos with friends and family, and it took maybe 2 years to get my first 1,000 subscribers. In the past 5 days, we've hit 11,000 subscribers, which is absolutely crazy and more than I could have ever expected. So I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that's been watching the videos, commenting, sharing your own stories and supporting the channel. It really means a lot and I appreciate it. Regular episodes come out every Wednesday, but to mark hitting the 10,000 subscriber milestone, I'm hoping to put out episode 4 as a bonus on Friday. I'm at a friend's wedding in Germany on Friday as well, so it could be a bit tight, but if I can make it work, then I definitely will. So if you turn on notifications for the channel, the new episode will pop up in your feed on Friday if I manage to get it done in time. So once again, thank you so much for all your support. I hope you enjoy the rest of the series. And in the meantime, here's a little snippet of what to expect in episode 4. In episode 4, I'm getting out to explore Accra before meeting family members in the city for the very first time.
Why am I nervous? A little bit, not a lot, but apprehensive maybe. I think she's arrived.
I'll be introduced to the Abawajes, witness fufu being made.
It's hard work.
And continue to deal with the fallout of Dad's ashes not making it to Ghana with me.
At the minute, it's not clear if I'm going to be able to get Dad's ashes at all. I'm a little bit stressed. At the minute, it doesn't look good.
Plus, a family member confirms to me something I had already suspected.
So, she seemed pretty sure I mean, at this point in time, I'm not surprised by anything, but yeah, I'm starting to get the feeling that I've got someone else to find.
As always, thanks for watching and see you for the next one.